Today I have something completely different from e-waste. The Xitron XPT II. Xitron Portable Terminal 2. So, it has some real neat stuff to look at. I'm going to pull it out of this case. This came into e-waste a couple of years ago, and up until now I haven't really done anything with it, but we have affectionately referred to it as the football. So give me a minute and we'll take a better look at this thing.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 8-bit doodads time!
Okay, I have released it from its plastic tomb. It doesn't have a whole lot going for it. Got a pull-out keyboard with a phone cable kind of cord. Adjustable keyboard, so you can get a little bit of a tilt to it. Front it says non-volatile memory, enable, carrier detect, data transmit and receive, memory insert, memory alert, RS-232, RTS, and CTS. I'm guessing memory alert comes on when you're about out of memory. The XPT II Xitron Portable Terminal 2. Nothing to see on either side or the back. The back just has a hatch for the power cable to be stowed away. This side has nothing else. The only thing to note is the acoustic coupler. ASCII modem, cord, and a big old port there. I'm not sure what kind of port it is. Obviously something to hook something else up to, a serial or something. Let's take a little better look at this thing. Okay, I have it plugged in now. And there we go. Get close to that. Freeze that if you want to grab it and read it. This is a transcript from a court reporter. Okeechobee Circuit Judge William Henry denied, there's some parts deleted, Wednesday afternoon by defense attorney Michael Sullivan to dismiss a first-degree murder case against 22-year-old dairy worker Donnie Jean Craig. And there's some more to it there. I'm going to pause it right there, dig up as much information as I can on this, see if I can scroll through some of this text without deleting it. But I will err on the side of caution. I would rather keep it there than me mess it all up. And then I'll look up this case too and see what's going on and figure out a little more about how this works. It's some kind of special memory. Maybe we'll open it up, take a look inside. How's that sound? One more thing to show you on this before I go any further. This is a plate on the bottom that says model number 95, serial number 173. A simple 173. Alright, let's continue on with this. Okay, so I have been able to find precisely two things on the internet about this machine. One is this Xitron manual. It's for the XPT or the XPT II. This one is, of course, the 2. I was able to find this manual. I'll scroll through it in a minute. And I was also able to find a posting from Flickr from 17 years ago I'll read that in a couple of minutes. But here's the manual. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm basically adding it to the video, so in case this manual disappears from wherever it's stored at, which is vtda.org docs, then there's still another record of it. So I'm just going to scroll through it a little slowly. You can pause if you want to read it. I'll scroll down one page and stop for a second. Got the function keys. I'm going to try to... I'm pretty sure this thing has the bubble memory. The Xitron I has a cartridge that actually plugs into the front. So that stuff is in this information. This one does not have that cartridge, so yeah, it's called the bubble cassette. Right there it is. This one does not have that. It's a flush front here, so I'm guessing they, on this time around, that they probably added more of that bubble memory inside rather than having the cartridges. There's what the cartridges look like. Kind of like an Atari cartridge. How to use them. Terminal commands. Communications. RS-232 operations. Some character keys. Command keys. And some ANPA ASCII code chart. And an XPT ASCII output code chart. And an ASCII code chart. So there's all the charts. I'm going to leave this at that. You can peruse it as you wish. I'm going to just read it enough so that I can do a couple commands. I want to test the keyboard. I don't want to lose the memory. I want to try to test the keyboard without losing the memory, see how well the keyboard held up. Okay, let's try this. This is the other document I got. 17 years ago, user Jugless2004 replied on a Flickr post about somebody inquiring about one of these. It was actually the first model, not the Model 2 like this one is. So for early 70s, or late 70s, very early 80s. If you want to read the whole thing, pause it. I'm just going to give you a couple of basics. This guy actually worked, or at the time of this, works at Xitron. Really surprised that this unit is still functional. It's the only example of hardware employing magnetic bubble memory I have ever seen. The fact that the bubble cartridge still has its contents is even more astonishing. I do not know if the bubble memory cartridge was built by Xitron or simply integrated as an off-the-shelf storage solution. Could be wrong. Steve Phillips was engineered behind the device. The fact that it's still working only stands as evidence that he is the single most talented electrical engineer I have ever met in my 24 plus years in the high technology sector. Bravo. And yes, Xitron is still a business. I believe they do business to business within the what used to be the newspaper business, but reporting and such as that. But I could be wrong. I didn't try to look them up. Okay, one thing I want to do before I wrap this up and open it up, I want to see if the keyboard is still functional. So I've got some of the commands here. I'm going to, so while I press the home key, it should start me at the beginning of the text, which we already are, and it should move the cursor to the upper left. Doesn't look like it wants to do that. Alright, let me try something else. Well, the cursor keys should move that cursor. I'm not seeing anything there. Well, we are hooked in. I'm going to go for broke and hit a letter. Alright, I'm going to pause for a second and try to figure out something else. Okay, so I'm at the point where I cannot get it to do anything. The keyboard's not functioning whatsoever. It could either be some kind of membrane in the keyboard or whatnot, or it could be the cord connecting the two of them. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Going to open it up. And if you want to stick around to the end, I have looked up this particular case on the internet, and I will tell you what happened to this. I guess I won't call him a gentleman. He's a murderer. I'll tell you what happened to this guy. Alright. Okay. There are 6 screw holes, 4 on top, 2 on the back. One of the holes was missing a screw. All the basic warnings when you're opening up anything with a CRT. If you want to get your hand in there, don't. That has lots of voltage. So let's get down in here. I'm gonna get some more light. Give me just 1 minute.
5 minutes later, matey.
Well, I've been looking over this thing and I see nothing whatsoever that looks like it might be bubble memory. Nothing at all. There's chips. There's a lithium battery that surprisingly is looks to be in good shape. No corrosion or anything on it. The section under here has no chips. If I stand up, I can look down into here, and there's nothing that looks like bubble memory. So I'm going to pause for a minute, and I'm going to look up non-volatile memory. See if I can tell exactly what they're getting at, what's going on here. I'm going to take you a little closer. Maybe it's about. There's all the ROMs. XPT 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm wondering if those are memory banks. That's the trouble. I can't find anything whatsoever on the internet about this except for a manual that mostly covers the XPT and not the XPT II. Okay, if you can hear me over the rain. This back row of the top row of chips up until the ROMs that are labeled are an SRAM, a non-volatile. The chip is a Toshiba TC 5516APL static RAM that will hold its memory when power is removed from the chip. That's the best I can get on this. If I'm wrong on this, somebody let me know. I was opening this thing up, hoping it was bubble memory, but that was apparently the first model was the bubble memory. This one uses that, which is more expensive, and it's kind of amazing that the memory is still there. All right, on to whatever's next. I'm gonna get this thing buttoned up. Okay, well, I have this thing buttoned back up. I don't know how it still has memory. That static RAM does lose its memory when the power goes down. I cannot believe that lithium battery in there was still giving it any power. That's just not even possible. If there was any battery in there, it would not be still have power to charge that thing up. There's just no possible way. So maybe there's a bubble, maybe there's not. Maybe there's another form of non-volatile memory that I'm not aware of. Maybe it's an early form of flash. I don't know. If anybody, I would love to. If anybody knows anything about what that might be, But I gotta wrap this video up and get it out there, and stay tuned for just 1 second, and I will give you the information on the man that the reporter was reporting on. Alright, here's the guy that was on trial for murder. It was a robbery. He was born on September 8th of 1965. The murder was on March 30th of 1987. It was a stabbing with a knife in Okeechobee County, Florida. He was sentenced to death, then later resentenced to 25 years in prison on May 27th of 1988. He was released in January of 2001. So if this guy's still alive, he's about 60 years old and quite possibly running around Florida. Okay, well, I'm going to end that right here. I wish I knew more about the memory of this. I'm just leery of tearing it apart further to get a look at things because, as far as I can tell, it's one of a kind. Somebody else out there has the XPT version, and I have not seen a single other existence of the XPT II like I have. So I am not going to tear into it any further whatsoever. If you have any thoughts on that memory, let me know. I'll look up anything anybody wants to know, but that's what I got for now. Stay tuned for, well, more e-waste and more diving in on stuff. As far as I'm concerned, this is probably the rarest item that I have pulled in through my e-waste. Have a great day. Hit that like button or the subscribe button, or hit the don't like button twice if you don't like it. Thank you very much. Have a good day.